Hey everybody in YouTube land, if you remember correctly, my name is Johnny, and Sean from Star My Guitar was here just a few days ago checking out all the auction guitars that we picked up. Today I got a shipment in from Amazon on a few items I'm going to need to start fixing these guitars. Let you might want to check out that video. So starting off, opened the boxes already. I got some electronic cleaner made by Stanley. Same stuff, expensive stuff, but a whole lot cheaper. Does the same job. So what we got here, we got another cleaner here, a lubricator. This is the Detox F15. A lot of people use this, or F5. And, so much for that box. Now this box came to me open, so I'm concerned because there's a lot of small things that we ordered. We wanted to make sure it all was all there. See, it looks like we have a large silicone mat. Got this for the shop here. Wanted to protect the guitars while they're laying down. And two, I make candles and soap for our esoteric business. If you remember Third Eye Esoteric, we also have that business here in the same building. So this is the soldering mat. I got a large soldering mat, figured I'd have a lot of projects going at once, and maybe I can double dip or triple dip as I'm going and get some of these electronics done a little quicker. Here is the large silicone mat that we're going to use to protect our kitchen countertops, because I make all of our soap and candles in the kitchen. I may be moving that process out here. If you'd like to see that process, let me know. It takes a little while, and there's a lot more science to making candles and melting wax and pouring it in a mold. You've got to have your correct heat. It has to cool down. You have to pour it at the correct heat. You have to color it at the right temperature. If you're going to add a scent to it, a fragrance, you have to do that at a certain temperature. And getting all this together before it all gets to the wrong range sometimes it can be challenging, especially if you're doing multiple different types of candles. But anyway, we're on guitars today. Here's the large. It's a 2 foot by 4 foot silicone mat, and that is a big area to be able to work on, and I think this is going to work out just great. Fold it back up here. Out in the shop here, we don't want to mess it up. Slide this over to the side. This welding mat folded up too. Also, I got from StuMac, got in the little pole tester for the pickups. That came in today also. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we got stick-it glue. I went ahead and got this package from Amazon. It's about $60, but you get a good sized bottle of all the different types of stick-fast glue, the thin, the medium, and the high, and then of course the activator spray. Let's see here. These are extra little wicking tips that you can use with the glue. Here, I just destroyed that box over there. Those are tiny little sticks that you see, plastic tips that you see on there that people are using. You get like 500 of them for just a few dollars at Amazon, and so it's a disposable product, so that should go pretty well. See what else we got here. Here we go. And the Rolite metal polish. This is for the frets on the guitars. If you remember, Sean and Kathy use this religiously and they love it, so they recommended it. So I got a bottle. I'd ordered one from Temu, a different type, and it came the other day. It looked like it's going to be a big prize, but instead I wound up getting this little bitty bottle and this little bitty applicator. Now this might work on the guitar for a little bit, but I doubt seriously this would do more than 1 or 2 guitars. It's like 1 ounce. They made it look so much bigger. So read the descriptions a lot closer when you're shopping at Temu. You get some good prices there on stuff. This whole box is Temu. We might go through it also. Let's see here. All right, we got the solder for guitars. This is 0.032 3.2 diameter. It's a whole pound, and it's the flux RA 2%. That way you don't have to do your flux to clean up your metal. Got some little nuts and bolts for guitars. This is for the pots, and because we got a few pots missing on these guitars. I got a few extra tips for the soldering gun, and I got some desoldering wicks because I figure we'll be removing a lot of solder from these. Also, let's see, we got the tip cleaner for the soldering iron. Looks like here, yeah, we got the liquid flux in case we run into a situation where we need that. Went ahead and picked it up. If you've ever done any type of plumbing in your house and you don't have flux, you know solder's not going to stick unless it's clean and it's flux clean. So, let's see where we find. Here's a fume fan. Since this solder does have a bit of lead in it, and I have some other that's a little more leaded, it's smart to have one of these little exhaust fans. And I'm looking for my knife. Looking for my knife. Somewhere around here. Haha. Right where I put it. You got a big shop like this, it's hard to find stuff when you put it where it belongs, you know. It's supposed to be all chaotic and everywhere. I try to keep things in order, but sometimes it just gets away from you. Let's see what we got here. Alright. Got some operation manuals. It's fan, so I mean, how hard can it be? You put a filter in it and turn it on. Looks like this are the little wings that help it stand up or direct the fumes from the solder. Man, over here. Man, they think this is good. Alright. Here we go. The green fume fan. I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks, something like that. Can't remember directly. But it comes with a whole pack of filters, and filters for the back, filters for the front, and a little piece of padding for a fan to sit on. I don't know how they have this on here. Goodness gracious. We're going to be using it soon, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It made it here from Amazon. I have to make sure it works. And we'll see that in future videos. We'll start doing a little bit of soldering on all these guitars. And speaking of soldering, here we go. Here's our work monster. There's a lot of, I mean, it's mind-blowing how many different soldering stations there are, and soldering guns and types and models. It can be overwhelming. I did a lot of research and digging into these, and I decided to go with this one. It's not a Weller. It's not a one of the more popular types of soldering gun, but it comes with a little tiny mat. Figure I'd put that on top of my big mat, and, you know, double dip safety there, help them last a little longer. And with a soldering pump, so that way you can remove solder just like the wicking. And there are tips in here, put those with the other tips. And here's tips because it has a heat gun also, so that way we can melt our shrink wrap. It's a little spool to put solder on. It came with another little roll of solder. Let's see, this is 0.8 lead-free solder. That's 0.5. Okay. It's small. It'll work. It'll work. You don't want one of those great big rolls of solder when you're doing small items of electronics like foot pedals and guitars and such. Okay, here looks like some type of bar put together. It's got a screw with it. Looks like this is the part that hooks onto the side of the soldering gun where you put the heat gun. And here's the little solder station. Got a little sponge in there and some steel wool, and that's where your soldering gun plugs in. And the heat lamp looks like it comes Already threw them over there. So a whole bunch of tips, multi-directional tips for all your soldering pleasure or your shrink wrap pleasure. More padding, more unexplained sticks. We're going to have to read the owner's manual on this one. Got something else here. Ah, tweezers. Tweezers for grabbing those itty bitty transformers and stuff. When we get into working on the pedals, we're going to need that. Let's see here. Ah, here's the heat gun. It's pretty cool. You know, the heat gun hooks into the unit, and you have a soldering gun that hooks into the station, which hooks into the unit. You can move the station around. The heat gun's plugged into the unit. It's pretty stationary staying there. And let's see here. This is a nice soldering gun. That's got a nice feel. See, we got a little silicone pad right here. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. Comes with a nice pointed tip. That'll work really well with small electronics. And grand finale here. Here's the welding station. It's a WEP, a WEEP, and you can set the temperature of your soldering gun and your hot air and the amount of hot air that's blowing. They're each individually turned on and turned off. That way you conserve a little bit of electricity and preserve the life of your unit by not having everything on all the time like some of them do. And it's a low profile, had great reviews on Amazon, so we're going to give her a shot. Now, one thing I did not see, here it is. Make sure we got the plug for the back of it so we can, you know, add juice and make it work. Don't throw the soldering issue. Alright, and for just a few extra dollars, while it was there, you never know when these little guns and stuff are going to disappear on you. I ordered an extra handle, so that'll make it last that much longer, I hope. Who knows, maybe we'll get into a splitter and do multiple soldering situations. Yeah, that's everything I ordered. We lucked out. The box was open when it came to me. I was a little nervous. Like I said, there's a lot of little stuff like this, the tip cleaner and the solder. Solder's little, but it's heavy. And so I'm glad that all came. So if you want to see what I got from Temu, days, Sean and I were going to do a little bit of comparison and have fun. If you got on Temu, you've seen the Orphe strings. They get mixed reviews everywhere on eBay, on Amazon, and on Temu. Some people say they break as soon as you put them on. Other people say they play them all the time. Some people say they like them. They're great value. Because I mean, you get a package for like $1. I mean, where can you get a set of strings for $1? And you know, all these auction guitars, I'm going to be fixing up, giving a few of them to kids. You know, I want to keep a few for myself. Of course, I'm going to have to sell some of them to cover the cost of all this. But I specifically ordered about 5 or 6 guitars I know are definitely going to kids. But so anyway, we're going to try out these Orphe strings. Maybe they'll work better on the shorter kid guitars than the longer adult guitars. Who knows? We'll make a video on that when we get to it. We just didn't have time when Sean was here. It was turned into a late video. This was a cleaner I showed you guys that showed up. I went to order some tape for taping up the fret walls. And a little 4-roll set. This is the 4-roll set. It's very tiny. It's probably 5/8 of an inch of tape wrapped around, and it's got all the sizes like the 1/4 inch, the 1/2 inch, the 3/4 inch, and the 1 inch. It's got all the sizes. I'm glad I ordered 2 instead of 1. Maybe this will get me through the first few guitars that we have to work on. Something I ordered came with a whole bunch of picks. I had it thrown in there. The little felt wheels for the rotary tool. I don't have a handheld rotary tool. I've got one in my leather station back here. I've got 2 of them. I've got a WEN, W-E-N, and I've got one from Harbor Freight. It's a jeweler's spinning tool, and that thing is amazing. I mean, it will spin so fast it'll burn leather if you're not careful. But we'll get these frets cleaned up. I got a whole pack of those Got a leveling sander or a leveling file. Got some grommets to go on the strap nuts on the guitars. That way you keep the straps on there, keep them from falling off. See, of course, there's the triangle for measuring our frets, our fret height. I got some chrome roller saddles, so some of these that don't have saddles, I'll take a lot of them off and I'll put these roller saddles on, then I'll have extras that'll hopefully match some of the other guitars, and we kind of Frankenstein these things together and make them nice without breaking the bank. Mama's already about shooting for ordering all these guitars. So we got a crowning tool here. This is one that Shane used. He recommends very much. There I go again, messing up names. Sean, I'm sorry. I called you Shane. I don't know what to say. Everybody out there in YouTube land, get used to it. I am the worst with people's names. I try to remember, and sometimes they just come out wrong. So, Sean, apologize, bro. Hope to see you soon. Got a set of the locking grommets from Temu. I wanted to see if what kind of quality they were before I ordered a few of them. I want to replace a lot of that on these guitars, hopefully with the locking tuners. Here. And we've got this is a fret cleanout tool. After you cut your frets, or if you take your frets off, you're doing a fret job, clean out the line that's cut there, gives you a little protection, a piece for the slot width, and you can get her done. I think the Stumac one was like outrageous, and this one was like $5 or $6 on Temu. It's a little solid, little bitty teeth. I mean, it's not rocket science. Got a tremolo bar. A lot of these guitars had straps and bags, but a lot of them didn't have the trim bars to go with them. So order on Temu, see if it fits. If it does, I'll order more from there. If not, I'll have to get with some other company to see if they want to do some discount pricing. But we got a lot. Well, the cheap little straps came from one of the guitars. Got a hammer. I probably could have made this in my wood shop, but I thought it was on Temu for like $1.50, and this would take me, 30 minutes or an hour for $1.50. Fret files, get rid of them sharp frets. Another crowning tool. Got some Velcro neoprene straps to keep down fret buzz, string buzz. Yeah, here's a little nick piece that I made a long time ago. I made it with 2 corks that came out of liquor bottles and a piece of scrap 2x4. I've used it for quite a while. I finally invested in a couple of them from Temu, and then I got a yoga block also that works great. Go to Walmart, buy you a yoga block. They're great. And of course, here's a sanding tool to level those frets out. And that's about it. I got some slinky strings in there. But those are some that I bought here a while back. And this I got, and I'm kicking myself in the butt. This is an old tremolo system, and I only ordered one. They were on sale for like $1.32. They were super cheap. I'm like, $1.32, something's got to be wrong with them. Not. These things are heavy duty, they're built right, all the parts are there. The spring is nice, has a nice tension to it. Well, these came, I rushed back to Temu. I was going to order 5 or 6 more. They had them in chrome, they had them in black, and I was going to order a bunch more because some of these guitars we're going to have fun with. We're going to modify them. We're going to see how we can make them different and make them functional and fun. And then I got some little knobs for the guitars. These have little stars on them that have an abalone shell inserted in it. So these were really cool looking. And I know one of these sets are going to go on that Dean guitar that we have. It's the silver sparkle, and all the frets are marked with abalone. And this on there, I think it would really pop. So that's what's coming up for that. I believe that's it. Oh wait, one more out. Hang Turn your cell phone off when you're doing work. We got one more box of stuff I forgot about. What tool supply haul wouldn't be complete without a trip to Walmart and of course Harbor Freight. Went in on a weekend sale. Got some nut drivers, metric and SAE. Colored handles. Not the highest quality, but you know Harbor Freight. You know their quality. Sometimes stuff's great, sometimes it's not. Most time it gets the job done. I also found this helping hands there for a little bit of nothing. That's 3M oil. I was about out, so 3M oil is a very handy lubrication to have when you're working on stuff. Some number 2 screws, some small bits, small drill bits for tiny drilling. There we have too many shop rags, buffing pads for the rotary tool. Another rotary tool there. You do some sanding, do some buffing with it. I think it'll help get the job done a little better. Got a smaller little magnetic bowl. We used a big one the other day. I was like, that's a little too big for guitar parts. Let's get a smaller one. Still magnetic, so it's going to work out good. Let's see here. Got some McGuire's compound to make this paint pop. Alright. And I found this. I haven't seen one of these yet. This is a ratcheting nut key, or chuck key. So when you're working on the drill, you know, I usually got that little bitty T-handle thing. This guy actually got a handle. It's reversible. It's 2 sizes. So you get there, click, 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 click. This sucker, I hope, is going to pay for itself. It may have the value of gold. It may be a flop on that. More drill tips. Got to try out Harbor Freight's solder. Used to buy welding stuff here quite a bit, but I didn't know they had soldering stuff. So we'll give their solder a shot. This is a what size we got here? Electrical solder, lead free. I can't find what size it is. It's tiny though. It's tiny. It's probably a .03, .05 somewhere in there. It's the right size. A couple surge protectors from Walmart. If you ever do woodwork, if you ever do any type of leather work, you're constantly measuring stuff, and you need a T-square, and you can never find a T-square. So I got some of these little rafter squares at Harbor Freight. They have for like $2. And I'm going to make a little slot in my workbenches. And I'm going to have one on each side of both workbenches. So no matter where you are, boom, there's a square right there. So I can't remember her names. A lady on YouTube that does woodwork. She built a custom wood shop kind of like I've got here. And she went way over the top with her bench, her rollaway bench. Mine's pretty basic. Strong top, place underneath it for tools. I can take this one and the other, put it together, go side by side, and get a whole piece of leather. Not just a side of leather, but a whole piece of leather, a whole cow. We can lay it out, and then we can map it, decide how we're going to cut it up. And make all kinds of other stuff too. 3rd generation furniture maker. So hands are pretty good for woodwork. Learned how to do leather and furniture, and I like that a whole lot more. So you see, I got all my granddaddy's tools back here. They're all golf tools, and they've lasted. I don't know, some of them are probably over 100 years old. They're still going at it. You know, they just don't make metal like they used to. Metal back then was pure. It was clean. It was good. Stuff nowadays, I mean, gets the job done, but you know, things break. You think a tool you buy nowadays is going to last over 100 years? Come on, that's crazy. Found this little box at Walmart. It's like a ammo can, but it's plastic. I was like, man, I could put a few little items to work on guitars in there. Like we go on vacation, got my guitar, something happens, you know, got a repair kit. You know, Kind of like a doctor's kit for a guitar. I think that'd be kind of fun to put together and have. There's packing tape, wood filler. You know we're going to need the wood filler. Wood glue. You know we're going to need wood glue. Got some more electronic duster. And I decided I was going to try to paint one of these guitars. So I got some of this Rust-Oleum color shift. This is cool. It's kind of like it shifts from red to pink to gold to bronze. It's to purple. It's a really cool thing. I think maybe one of the smaller guitars is painted like this. Of course, I got some flat black for touch-ups, and if some of these paint jobs aren't salvageable, guess what? Yeah, we're gonna be painting. And just some basic hooks for my pegboard. Might hang some more pegboard up, do these arch holes on that. And now that's it. So we hauled a whole bunch of stuff in, and we got the shop retooled and set up now for guitars also. So we got a wood shop, we got a leather shop, we got a guitar shop, we got a welding shop in the other corner of the workshop out here. So stick around, like and subscribe. That way when we release new videos, you'll know. And we're going to be covering a lot of topics. Glad you tuned in. Have a great day.